Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't watched Tuesday's video, go back now, watch it, and come back once you're done because today I'm taking you a little bit further on something that Jacob talked about. If you can recall, he mentioned about 3 years ago, we prayed a prayer that changed our lives forever. And let me tell you, we are not exaggerating when we say our lives were forever changed from that moment all the way up until now. And we know this is just the beginning for what the Lord has in store for our family. And we are excited to take you on this journey of showing you the things and the trials, the difficulties, all the things that we have endured, the joyous moments to get us to where we are today. Let me explain a little bit about that prayer of faith that impacted us. Little did we know it would have the impact it had on us. And it was in this moment where Jacob just finished his undergrad work at Biola University. And I was coming up on my last semester at Biola University where we would together graduate in May. But Jacob just finished, so what comes next after college? A job, right? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? You graduate college, you go instantly get a job. You start applying, you get plugged in, you go after whatever your degree is, and you start down that journey. Well, that's what one would think, and that's what we were told to go do. That's what everyone expected of Jacob to go and do. That's the pressure he was put under, but that's not what happened for him and I. That's not. It was this moment when we needed wisdom from the Lord. We needed clarity from God. We needed direction from the Lord. Ultimately, we needed his help. What do we do? We knew at this moment we were already dating for 4 months. We knew that God was leading us down a time where we would one day get engaged, get married, have a family. But in this moment, what do we do right now? It's this first moment of, okay, we know we're called to ministry. We know there's a calling on our life. We know God has a plan, just like he has a plan for you. But what does that look like? What do we do with knowing we're called to go do something, but how do we execute that? How do we go about that in a way that's pleasing to the Lord, but ultimately in a way that's going to allow him to lead and guide us? Well, for starters, the easy way would be go get a job. Of course, you got to pay bills, you got things to do, go get a job. And let me tell you, one of the pressures we were under is we wanted to get married. We did, but we had no finances for that. So ultimately you're thinking, go get a job. But something deep down inside Jacob told him not to. Not to just go apply, not just go off and lean off his own wisdom and understanding, but to wait, to sit in that silence, in that stillness of the Lord, and ask him for wisdom, ask him for clarity, ask him for direction of what to do. And let me tell you, it was difficult. It was challenging. It was tiring. It wore on us. And as his girlfriend at the time, I came alongside him to support him, to help him through this. Because I'll be honest, I did want him to go get a job. I did want him to go after these things, but I did not want him to just go get a job to get a job. I wanted him to do what God wanted him to do and to follow in the Lord's footsteps. Because I knew in order for him to lead me and now our family, he must first be led by the Lord. And he must diligently hear from God and go after the things the Lord has for him. Because this one moment, and you might not think it's that big of a deal. Oh, it's just a job. Let me tell you, it's a big deal. It is a very big deal. It's lean on your own understanding, go get a job, just apply. God will bless you within that. Or wait, seek God, ask him for that clarity and that wisdom of what to do and how to move forward, and allow God to lead you and to guide you. He was under so much pressure. And on Tuesday, he's going to go into his story. And let me tell you, it is juicy. And it is difficult and it is hard. And as his girlfriend watching him go through that, it was hard. It was so hard. I wanted to just give him the answers. I wanted to be like, oh, there it is, babe. Go apply. Go do this right here. I wanted to have it all for him, but I didn't. The only thing I knew what to do was to pray alongside him and to support him. And when all these people were against him, it was family. It was friends, it was people at school, it was professors, all these people telling him, you're graduated, go do something with your life. Go, what are you waiting for? What are you doing just sitting around? Why are you just praying all day long? Go do something, go do something. What are you waiting for? And all these things were coming against him, this pressure of, you're a man, go do something. All these things that were coming against him. I tried my best by the grace of God to stick it out with him and to help him and to support him and to endure it with him. And it was hard and it was challenging, but there was something deep down inside that both of us knew that no one else knew. And that was that God had a bigger plan for Jacob and I. It wasn't just go apply here, go do this there. No, it was time for us to seek out the plan he had for our lives. And if we didn't take that time, that moment, and let me tell you, it wasn't just a couple weeks. This was months of seeking God and asking him for help, months of enduring this opposition against all these people we loved, people we looked up to all this time. And it makes sense. There's grace there. We understand it, yes. But we were told something from the Lord that we understood. And that was our charge from God to hold on to it and to go after it. They didn't need to understand. As much as we wanted them to understand, they didn't need to understand. As long as we grasped what God told us to do and we went after it, victory came. The joyous moments came. Every tear that was shed, that he collected because he cares about them, were worth it because of what the Lord did and how he came through for us. At that time, we were just boyfriend and girlfriend, but how he came through for us. So we're going to take you on this journey, just like Jacob talked about, of going through the times where literally it was what felt like us against the world. Almost like our hands were tied against our back. And we were pleading with God, help us, help us. We know you're telling us something. We know we're hearing from you. We know we're not crazy, though we look absolutely crazy and insane. And we did, and guess what? We still do. But we know we hear something from you. Help us. We wanted to take the easy way out at sometimes, which is what? Go get a job, go apply, go do something, just so we can silence those voices. So we could just prove to them, hey, we have a job now. He's doing something. But instead, we took the hard road. We took the hard road, which was allowing people to just keep telling us their opinion, which it makes sense. We get it. We totally understood it. But together we fought in the name of the Lord because we knew he had a bigger plan for our lives. And I strongly believe if it wasn't for that moment where we asked God to give us that life of faith, a life where it's not about Jacob and I, a life where we could literally be a living testimony of God's glory, of his goodness, of his supernatural power, of who he is. A life where people would look at and wonder, wow, what is it they have? Well, it's who we have, not what we have. That was our heart's desire. Our heart's desire was to live a life beyond ourselves. A life that would inspire people to go after the things of the Lord. A life that would inspire people to say no to themselves, no to others, when God is saying something different. And to go after God, even when it's hard and it's challenging. Because there aren't always easy moments, but it's worth it. And that prayer of faith that we ask God for that moment, I strongly believe that that moment is what forever changed our lives. And we had no idea the road, the crazy roller coaster we would go on together. And let me tell you, it has been crazy. We have seen God come through in ways we would have never imagined. Ways that literally will tell stories that it's just insane, it's crazy. And I'm excited to get there. So thank you so much for going on this journey with us and allowing us to share our story of faith. We'll see you soon.